So a typical day for me begins with a cup of tea in the morning, and then we go into dailies, which is where we review our shots and get feedback on them. Then after that, we get into shot and rig work. We just work depending on what feedback we get and what's been assigned to us.
A lot about talking with people from other departments and people from on the team itself. There is just a lot of information which needs to be passed down and out of the department. It also consists of making sure that you have sessions ready for director reviews. We have director reviews usually twice a day, and you just want to make sure that the best and the most up-to-date versions are available for our supervisors to present to the directors so we can get the feedback we need.
Usually if we're just getting the brief, they give us like a little explanation. If we have like a storyboard or something to go off of, I'll start looking into that and picking out certain things that might be like a character trait or something like that. And then after sort of diving deep into references online, like animals, if I'm doing an animal, I'll start looking at videos to sort of study those. I sort of just start putting that away and then just go sketch all day and see what comes out of that.
Yeah, and another typical day further down the process, once the character is approved, for example, you have to get into packaging because we have to send it to the next department. So we get into doing rotations for modeling or doing surfacing callouts, which is all the materials and all the things that the character has within, depending on the project, because some projects are a little bit more textured or a little bit more tactile, but some others are a little bit more sleek. So it depends on that, how you do that part of it. But yeah, you have to do a package with that rotation. Usually we do expressions as well for rigging. We do expressions and poses for animation to further explain who the character is. Because when you do the initial part, you get one pose that reads really well and you can tell who the character is by just looking at that one image.
Mostly, I would say rounds with artists. So it's a lot of communication of priorities, communication of anything that has changed, and things often change, and communication of updates, and also just checking in because we work with a lot of people. And in production, it's our job to help them and make sure that they're able to do their work. And that doesn't just mean like getting anim delivered. It also means checking in about workload or anything that might be going on with them, and just creating an environment that's conducive to good creative work, which is what we're trying to do here.
As someone who basically went from a performance role to a more managerial role, my day-to-day became, during the transition, shadowing Gareth from his day-to-day. So watching him work in the mornings, what he does for his daily tasks, and essentially just continuing to shadow him until I could finally be more comfortable with essentially performing the same tasks as he did, to a degree where I didn't need much of his help to do those roles.
Didn't take long.
Thank you.
You picked it up pretty fast. Well, so that was pretty good. So
that's very good to hear, actually.
Yeah, that was really good.
So a lot of it was watching him converse, interact, and give feedback to the layout team, which is the team that we work with. But also managing from a managerial perspective, liaising with the layout soups, with Netflix on a daily basis, with other departments, just seeing how he phrased, interacted, and made all the information quite concise to make everything run quite smoothly, which was good.